The manosphere is lying to you. This red pill, black pill rhetoric is making young guys feel life is absolutely hopeless. These content creators are pushing the idea that unless you're 6'4" tall, built like a bodybuilder, driving a Lamborghini, and making $5 million a year in passive income, then you're just going to be lonely and single forever. And frankly, it's a load of rubbish. And that's coming from someone who has experience. A lot of these creators are backing up their point by saying this. Well, look at this guy. He has an excess of women, an abundance of women, and he's in the top 1%. And you have no women. And you think, well, both of those things are true. So therefore, they're making the connection that the reason why you don't have any women is because you're not in the top 1%, and the top 1% of men are taking all the women. But just because two things are true doesn't necessarily make the third thing to be true. The whole thing's a load of rubbish. Think about it like this. Does a professional football player have a lot of girls? Well, yes. They're supreme athletes, they're incredibly fit, they make millions of dollars a year, and they have the adoration of hundreds of thousands of people. So yeah, it's true. They are going to have an abundance of women. And it also might be true that you don't have very many women. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be a top 1% elite athlete just so you can avoid being single and lonely for the rest of your life. If you dive deep into this black pill rabbit hole, they'll have you believe that nice guys don't even stand a chance. You don't even get an opportunity in this world because all of the girls are going for all of the guys that have 6'4" body heights. They're built like bodybuilders, they drive Lamborghinis, and they're making millions of dollars a year. And you have none of those things, and that's why you're not getting any of the women. And all their evidence is, hey, look, those guys have those things, and they have everything, and you have none of those things, and that's why you don't have anything. And the whole thing is BS. And I've got the evidence. Here's the evidence. Go outside, take a walk, put the phone down after you've liked and subscribed to this video, and go to your main street in the town. Go to your local shopping mall, and look around. How many married guys do you see? How many mothers and fathers do you see walking around with their children? Hundreds. Are any of them pro athletes? No. Are any of them Calvin Klein models? No. Do you think any of them have a Ferrari? Do you see many parked Ferraris around? No. Do you think if they lift up their shirt, they're going to have six packs? No. There's all of these guys, hundreds of guys. You can see them every single day, and they're all happy. They have beautiful wives and beautiful families and lovely children. And none of them are sex icons. None of them have Ferraris. And in fact, if you understand the language I'm speaking, and this language is the language that you speak in your country, then statistically, over 60% of them are overweight and obese. So there you go. You can find a lady without being ripped. So let's get back to reality. Of course, someone like DJ Diplo is going to have an abundance of women. He's attractive. He makes hundreds of millions of dollars a year. He performs in front of millions of people a week who scream his name. And if you look at the back of his DJ decks, he's surrounded by hundreds of gorgeous model tier women. Of course, he's had his fair run of the play of Victoria's Secret model girlfriends. But outside, in real life, hundreds of men every single day are going on dates with beautiful, beautiful women. And almost none of these guys make $5 million a year. None of these guys are wearing Cartier sunglasses. And none of these guys are built like Chris Bumstead. You don't need 10 Victoria's Secret model girlfriends to be happy. You just need one chick that thinks you're the man to be happy. So why am I talking about this? Well, because I kind of know where you're coming from. When I was in my early 20s, to put it bluntly, I was a loser. I was out of shape, I was depressed, I was lonely. I never got dates, I never got girls, I had no attraction with the opposite sex. And I thought, you know what, it's unfair. I'm a nice guy. But all of these girls, they only want to go for athletes. They only want to go for the rich guys, the taller guys. Hey, I'm not over 6 foot. When's it going to be my turn as a nice guy? Should be my turn soon. I didn't think it was fair. But the truth is, I wasn't a nice guy. I felt like I was entitled to have people give me attention, to have people give me their companionship. But the truth is, in this world, you're not entitled to anything. No one's obligated to give you their companionship. You got to be someone worth spending time with. So in my early 20s, no luck with the ladies. No dates. Went on one date in the first 25 years of my life. Fast forward now to my late 20s, I've been on thousands of dates. I've had numerous girlfriends. I'm now engaged to a beautiful fiance. I'm going to be married. And yet, I've never made $1 million a year. I don't drive a flash car. And to this date, my athletic abilities have yet to be discovered by any professional sporting leagues. Newsflash, I'm not very athletic. So what changed for me? Well, let's reframe the issue. Okay, so the top 0.1%, the top 1% guys get a disproportionate amount of the success. Okay, well that's fair enough. But I'm never going to be in the top 1%. I'm never going to be Tiger Woods because I'm not fucking good at playing golf. Well, how do you become top 1%? Well, honestly, it's a combination of being blessed with really great talent and working your ass off. Okay, so move on from the 0.1%, move on from the 1%. It's not going to happen. So what about the top 10%? These guys are going to get more out of life than they need to be sufficiently happy. Do you really need millions of women lusting after you? You only need one wife, man. The top 10% of guys are going to get more than they need to be sufficiently happy. They're going to get more than enough attention from women. They're going to get more than enough opportunities to meet, date, and communicate with women. This is more than enough opportunities to eventually date, meet your girlfriend, and get the one wife that you should only need. And I know what you're thinking, oh, well, that's 10%. You got to be better than 90% of guys. Why should I even bother? No. The top 10% of guys aren't made out of anything different than you or I am made out of. They're made out of the same stuff. That 1%, yeah, that's genetics. They're blessed. Top 10%, all you need to do is try. Just start trying. Start taking steps in the right direction. The vast majority of guys are unhappy with where they're at in life and they just accept it. They just sit there and go, well, it must be nice for them. And they just sit there and they fester in their misery and get bitter as they get older. Must be nice for them, huh? They don't do anything about it. They never change. And I did the exact same thing for years. For 25 years, I sat there and I was bitter about where I was in life. I wasn't happy. I thought, you know what? Must be nice for those guys, all those successful guys. And I did nothing. I didn't even try. But then when I was 25, I thought, no, that's it. That's enough. I've had enough. If you take the first step to changing your life, you've already separated yourself from 80% of people. Most people might hear something like this and go, and they'll keep scrolling and they won't do anything about it. Most people will never take that first step. If you take that first step, you're already better than 80% of people. If you keep going and you keep working hard, I'm going to tell you now, it wasn't easy. But it was quite simple. I just didn't stop. I just kept trying. And I'm not made out of anything you're not made out of. I'm not talented at anything. I'm not skilled at anything. This video has taken me 1,000 takes. I have no gifts. I just kept trying in a world where most people don't try. Look, I'll never be Chris Bumstead, right? But if I didn't try at the gym, I would never have gotten where I am today. I'll give you another example. I was working this construction job a few years ago, and we were on shit money. We were making terrible money. And I was asking some of the boys there, boys, do you know of any other better jobs where we can make a little bit more coin? And they all said, oh yeah, there's some better jobs down on the railways. They're making crazy money. I said, guys, why don't we do it? Why don't we go work there? It's 3 times as much money. And they go, oh look, must be nice. It's good work if you can get it. It's nice for them, but you know, it's not easy to get. Do you know what they did? They never did anything. I said, well, which companies are they? Oh, it's this company, this company, this company. But you can't get it. It's hard to get a job there. They're not just putting anyone on. Must be nice for them. These guys had been in the industry for 30, 40 years. And they'd never made more money in their life. Never. They just accepted their position and thought, must be nice for those guys. Do you know what I did? When we went on our lunch break, I went into my car and I called all of those companies. Every single one of them. The first one said, no. The second one said, no. The third one said, okay, if you're serious, come on down. We'll give you a polo shirt and you can start next week. I tripled my income because I wasn't willing to accept no. I thought, let's just try. But people don't even try. So there I was 25. I was a loser. I was bitter, but I was angry. I was angry about where I was, and I was starting to make those first few steps into changing my life. So I started getting in shape. I started tracking my macros. I started going for a few jogs. I started throwing around a kettlebell a couple of times a week. And I did that consistently. I got up and I did it day in, day out. I didn't know where it was going. I didn't know what my grand plan was. I just knew something had to change. I didn't do much. Quite simple. A couple of jogs, eat a little cleaner, a little bit of exercise. Within 6 months, I got into the best shape of my life. This is what it looks like. Hey, it's not much, is it, right? You're on social media all day and you see 1,000 physiques better than this. Well, you're wrong. This physique here changed everything for me, man. The confidence that I had when I achieved that, next level. That physique was more than I ever thought was possible for me. Because when I started here, All I wanted to do was not be fat. And 6 months later, I had a six-pack. I didn't think that was possible for me. That was more than I expected. It's more than I ever wanted. I exceeded my goals. I just stayed locked in. I just committed to the process and tried to stay on it for long enough to get where I needed to go. And I got further than I thought. Why? Because I took that first step. But I knew I'd never be Chris Bumstead. I knew I'd never be an IFBB pro. It didn't stop me from trying. And most people go, oh, you know, he's all on steroids. He's got those genetics. So why should I even bother working out? I bothered, and I achieved more than I ever thought was possible for me. And that did wonders for my confidence. It's how I felt inside. No one can take that away. And the reality is, that is a good physique. Go to your local shopping mall and look around. 90% of people there don't have visible abs. 60% of people are overweight and obese. That was enough of a physique to get friends, to get family members, people at my gym going, hey, what's the secret? What's your fat loss tips? Just that. Do you see that on social media these days? You compare yourself to the influencers. You're not going to be impressed by that because we're looking at the top 1%, 10 out of 10 elite genetics. But you see something like that and you go, oh, there's nothing. But the confidence that gave me was huge and it changed everything. Within 6 months of making that change, I was going on 1 date a week. And that's coming from a guy who went on 1 date in 25 years, 1 date a week. Was I all of a sudden a smooth talking playboy getting all the girls? No, I was awkward. I was shy. I was saying the wrong things. I wasn't good at making eye contact. I was embarrassed, but I kept going. I kept practicing. I kept trying. I kept showing up. I kept booking dates and I kept improving my physique. And the confidence that I carried myself with was, hey, wow, I'm no longer a loser. I set a goal for myself and I follow through with my actions. I don't want to get up and do the workout, but I get it done anyway. Wow, I feel more self-esteem. I feel good. I carry that when I go and meet these girls and they go, wow, you're not like other guys I met. You know, you're confident. You hold yourself to different. Yeah, you know, do what I can, right? That's different. So I went from having 1 date in 25 years to 1 date a week. And now I'm in my late 20s. I've had a couple of girlfriends. And now I have a fiance. Now imagine if I started this at 19 instead of 25. Oh my God. And that's the main differentiator between most people. Most people don't start. They never try. They never get anywhere. But I'm telling you now, if you try in life and you just keep going, you will get so far beyond what you think is possible. But most people don't try. They blame things that they can't control and they compare themselves to totally unrealistic standards. Hey, I'll never be Tiger Woods. I'm not that good at golf, right? I'm never going to be like that. I'm never going to be an IFBB pro, but I still tried. But now I've been doing this for 4 years and I think, objectively speaking, get out of social media. I think if I walk down the street, compared to 90% of people, I think I've better physique than 90% of people. And my physique is nowhere near good enough to be an Instagram influencer. It's nowhere near good enough to be on a bodybuilding stage or on the cover of a magazine. But I've achieved something that I think was well beyond what I thought was possible. Subjectively speaking, physically, more attractive. Did I get better at talking to girls? Yeah, I did. Did I get better at securing more dates? Yeah, I did. Did that lead me to finding my future fiance? Yeah, she found me attractive. And now every day she calls me her handsome man. I'm telling you now, boys, that feels incredible. You don't need to drive a Lamborghini and have 16 Russian models sitting in the passenger seat to be happy. You just need one chick who thinks you're the man. That's all you need. You can't change your bone structure. You can't magic your way to being 2 inches taller. So please stop hammering your chin with a hammer and please stop breaking your legs to get taller. The truth is, I fundamentally believe that if you're watching this, 99% chance that if you think that you're hopeless, I think within 1 to 2 years, if you really start putting the steps in the right direction, you can go from feeling hopeless to having more success in love than you ever thought was possible. You'll get more attention from girls than you'll ever need, and all you ever need is one chick, and it's reachable. Spit out the black pill, man. Realistically, it's quite simple. If you're not in shape, get in shape. You don't have to be jacked. Just don't be fat. You don't have good clothes? Get some clothes that fit you, are clean, and they complement your body type. They don't have to be expensive. Nothing I'm wearing right now costs more than $30, and I wore this exact fit on the first date that I had with my future wife. Get a haircut and get it trimmed on a regular basis. Get a haircut that suits your face, and then build your self-confidence. Well, how do you do that? Set a goal that you think is hard and stick to it and then complete it. And then you'll have equity in your soul. You're going to feel a different level of confidence that you never felt before, and no one can take that away from you. It'll be undeniable. You'll be a guy that gets things done, and you'll carry yourself with a swagger. Yeah, man, you know what? That 5K I signed up for, I trained for it, and I completed it. I didn't think I could do it, but I did it. Wow, what else can I do? Like, that energy that you carry with you is going to make you go from being a dreamer to a doer. You're going to have a different confidence about you, a little different way you carry yourself, and girls are going to pick up on that. They're going to go, wow, hey, this guy, he's not like other guys. You know, he gets it done. I'll also let you in on another secret. Like, 80% of chicks don't actually know, like, can't really tell if you're ugly. If you have clean clothes, like a tidy haircut, and you groom yourself decently well, and you carry yourself with confidence, they're going to be like, he's kind of hot. Even if you have a face like a slapped ass. And I've got evidence for this. The evidence is outside. Go outside to your local shopping center and have a look. How many married men do you see? Hundreds, right? Do any of them look like Jordan Barrett? None. But they all have wives, bro. That's what I'm telling you. If you keep comparing yourself to the impossible standard, you're going to get demoralized. You won't bother. You'll quit trying. The only person you need to compare yourself to is yourself yesterday. And today, I just want you to be one molecule better than you were yesterday. And then tomorrow, do the same thing. Just one molecule. Keep stacking it. In 6 months' time, you won't recognize yourself. In 1 year's time, your friends and family won't recognize you. You'll be vibrating. You'll be on a different level. And you know what to do. I can promise you this. My evidence is my testimony. My fiance doesn't even believe me when I try and tell her about who I was in the past. Like, she can't imagine it. She cannot imagine it. I try to explain to her, like, you have no, she cannot imagine it. If there is still air in your lungs, please fight for a better life. Just take that first step. God bless.